This man is Bert Figgis, Private Bert Figgis of the Royal Rutland Fusiliers. He has been in hiding for 29 years. He does not know that the war is over. For nearly 30 years, Bert has been continuing his lonely war against the Japanese in the parks and woods near Shanklin, Isle of Wight. Such is his utter dedication to the British Empire that he will surrender only on a personal order from Stanley Baldwin.
Towards the end of the war, the Royal Rutland Fusiliers were sent on a special endurance exercise from here near Newport, Isle of Wight, with strict instructions never to return till they saw a special signal. With D-Day and subsequent exciting filming, that signal was never given, and the Royal Rutland Fusiliers were never seen again.
Except, that is, until about 1950, when Isle of Wight residents began to tell strange stories of people not on the electoral register, of strange people who did not own boats, who didn't attend cocktail parties, and who were never suitably dressed. One resident believed that there was something living rough in their rhododendrons.
We suspected, of course, at first that we were suffering from hippies.
So what did you do?
Well, we put flamethrowers in, and my husband laid rat poison.
What happened?
Well, I'm afraid we lost most of the rhododendrons and nearly all of the petunias. Frightful pity.
What about the strangers?
Oh, well, we got a couple of dead ones, and the local rat man said they were Rutlands, and I think in the end we got about £10 each for them, which was frightfully handy.
From whom?
From the army. They were, of course, frightfully glad to see the back of them, you see, owing them all that back pay. Then we found another one, but my husband used him as compost. We put him on the roses. Frightfully good for them.
In 1959, a Mr. Roy Bolting of No Relation Villas Elstree took some unique footage of a Rutland foot patrol on the ornamental golf course near Ventnor.
These are some films we took last summer. Oh, there's Ted. He's married to Alice. They had the caravan next door to us, a very nice class of person. Yes, they send us a card every Christmas. Yes, they're always on the golf links every day, couldn't keep them off it. Oh, that's Alice. She scored a hole in one then, yes.
The Fusiliers kept rigidly to their encampments, reading the Bible and Biggles to keep up their morale. Food was scarce and a problem, except during the tourist season.
137 big whipsies, please. 45 with chocolate.
Occasionally they'd eat out on captured Barclay cards, here at the Cosy Nook Cafe, amidst charming oldie-worldy surroundings. But mainly they stuck to their self-appointed task of broadcasting anti-Japanese propaganda from the gardens of suburban guest houses.
Japanese! Pearl Harbor! Japanese!
So they maintained their lonely life. What was it that kept them going all those years?
Discipline, idealism, and stupidity. They were always rather a dim regiment, even by British Army standards.
From 1954, remnants of the Royal Rutlands, the old Impossibles, started to limp out of the ornamental gardens in dribs and drabs, surrendering to the local constabulary.
No, clear on. Move along. Well, he kept insisting on seeing the senior Japanese officer. So I left him with the wife while I nipped down the local Chinese restaurant to see if I could borrow an Oriental waiter for him to surrender to. I returned with Mr. Fong just in time to prevent him committing hara-kiri all over the living room carpet, which was new at the time and had a fine, hard-wearing acrylan base, reasonably resistant to most types of household spillage, but not manufactured to withstand a thorough soaking of bloody entrails. Unlike the bathroom carpet, which is washable and water-resistant with a nylon underlay, or even the kitchen carpet, which is a hard-wearing combination of non-natural fabrics interwoven with finest real merino wool fibres.
Yes, quite. What happened?
Well, the kitchen carpet lasted about 10 years before we had to...
what happened to the soldier?
Oh, I don't know.
All through the 60s, Rutland Fusiliers trickled out of the copses to surrender. 18 surrendered personally to Bob Dylan during the Isle of Wight Pop Festival. But some, like Bert Figgis, refused to believe the war was over and continued to send back highly useful information about Japanese tourist movements. Bert is probably the last of the fugitive Fusiliers, Their numbers have dwindled with no hope of replacement since Annie the Naffy girl ran off with a Lance Corporal to form a commune near Wigan. To the visitors, he's a hero, typical of the indomitable British working-class spirit which has allowed them to be happily exploited for centuries. To the locals, he's just another part of the scenery.
We leave biscuits out for him in the winter.
But to Bert, he is the last of the Empire, watching, waiting, and hoping one day to liberate Ryde. So he continues his lonely war against the Yellow Peril, unaware that the fight has been over for 30 years, that the Emperor has had tea with the Queen, or that the Isle of Wight now has a Liberal MP. Another soldier who continues the fight, this time in Germany, is Major Sir Oliver Kane Gore Hamlin. He has been told that the war is over, but is unable to understand it.
The war is over, Major.
What?
The war is finished, sir.
Don't understand.
The war is over, Major.
Oh, sorry, I don't get that.
It's the end of the hostilities, sir.
What?
We're not fighting Germans anymore, sir.
Don't understand.
England, Germany, friends.
No, I'm sorry, I don't understand this.
No, the war is over. Over.
No, I don't understand that at all.
It's the completion of the whole thing, sir. There is no more war.
Could you say that again?
He's also unable to understand quite simple sums or read joined-up writing, and he's being used by the army as a minesweeper.